We got the rain last night. My barrel is full here. My cube is full over here. Over 1,000 liters. That's awesome.
Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. My pottery studio will soon be returning to a bonsai studio. I'm going to be finishing off the dragon pot today and pruning up some trees. I didn't get a chance to work on the dragon pot yesterday, so I'll be finishing it off today and then taking it over to Isabella's next week to properly dry it and then eventually get fired. The first thing I notice after removing the plastic is I have a bit of cracking here where I attach the dragon to the base, so I'll have to fix that up. I'm just inspecting everything else now. I don't see any other problems, so it's just that one area back here that I've got to fix up. Here is a look at that area. So you can just see some cracks forming. So I'll have to hydrate that and then blend it in a little better. I'm going to hydrate that area and then I'll come in with my tool here and I'll kind of make sure the clay is really formed together. I've got that area all fixed up now. It's looking good. So next I've got to clean up the dragon. Just go around it looking for details like maybe around the feet here, just fixing up any tool marks. Just kind of, fixing little imperfections. It is starting to rain again outside. This is a good day to work on clay because it's very humid here in the greenhouse. It's cool and the lighting is good. It's not, direct sunlight. And it's nice to hear the sound of the rain. Very relaxing. I've been working away, refining the sculpture. I forgot to add scales on the inside of the tail here, so I did that. I'm just signing the back of it now. I'm putting my initials, NRS, here, and I'll put the date. And I'm still just working away, smoothing out scales and these fins and the head. Yeah, I said I had a couple more hours work on it. I could at least double that estimate, maybe triple, maybe quadruple. I think there's a lot of finishing work to go. But, the clay is getting harder and it's sort of turned from, soft clay to almost, it's like wood carving now, where the material is quite tough. Not real tough, but it's definitely kind of hardened up. And it's really nice to do the fine details. You can really get in there and finish it all. So I'll just keep working away, having fun out here in the rain. I've been working away. I fixed the teeth up on the dragon's mouth. I've got it signed over here. You can see my signature in there, NRS 2023. And I've just been sculpting away, cleaning it up. And it's coming along pretty good. I think I'm in the final stages now. I was just looking at my dragon pot and I thought here there's a bit of a cavity and I thought that's going to fill up with water. So I better put a drainage hole in there. And I'm just checking to make sure I haven't forgotten anything else. I don't think so. I think that's all I have to do. Put a drainage hole in there so it doesn't fill up with water. I've got my dragon pot overhanging here, so the hole, you can see my finger in the bottom of the hole here. I've tapered the bottom so all the water will drain out the hole. And it's also nice having the hole because I can get all my little clay flakes and push them out the hole to clean up that area. I was also thinking that if my dragon pot is sitting on a flat table, that this hole will be blocked by the table below. So I'm going to add underneath here sort of a semicircle so the water can drain out the side. I have got that area finished, so I don't know if you can see it under here, but there's like a semicircle that the water can drain out now. Here's a look at the type of clay. It's black stoneware, cone 6, 240i, and it's from PSH. If my dragon pot survives the drying process, the bisque firing, and the final firing, I'll be putting a tropical tree in it. I don't want to risk any frost damage to the pot. I've been working away on the dragon pot for most of the afternoon now. I think it's finally finished. Let's have a final look at it before the clay begins to harden. I've got my workbench all cleaned off here. It's no longer a pottery studio. It's time now for today's updates. The first update for today is my Socotra Island desert rose landscape. And back here, I planted an aloe tree. And the aloe tree had a stalk sticking up with a flower on it, or a bunch of flowers. And a few of them flowered, and then the flowers just kind of disappeared, and I thought, oh, wonder why that happened. But now I see there's a seed pod, and maybe there's 2 seed pods on it, one here and one here. So that's exciting. I've never grown an aloe from a seed before. I'm really looking forward to giving it a try. The rest of the landscape here is looking really good. I really like it. I am thinking of replacing the moss clumps. If you come up here, you can see the moss clumps. They're just kind of turned brown. They're not very good looking. What does look better is either, the dwarf Portulacaria afras here. Kind of, if I prune them to look like a bush, would look good. But I've also got these rat-tailed jades down here. You can see it right here. And they also look like little bushes, and I think it's better than the moss, and it survives in this dry, hot environment. So here's some more jades here. Back here I have some of those taller rat-tailed jades. So I think with pruning I can make them look like really nice bushes, and I think it'll really complement the landscape, and it'll stay green even on the hot, dry days of summer. The second update today is my Russian olive. I pruned it back severely because I couldn't keep up with the watering on it. And now it's all grown back in again. So you can see all the new shoots. So I'll let those grow a little longer, and then I'll have to prune it back once again. And I'll just keep repeating that process, clipping growing it, and I should get a pretty nice tree in the end. The next update is the Wynard Jade. This was sent to me by Scott Wynard from the United Kingdom. And it's looking really good. I gave it a severe pruning, cutting back all the branches to stubs and now it's growing in again and looking really nice. I like having these small jades, trying to keep them small, keep the trunks fat and the height down, and I think they make a really nice bonsai. The next update is my Chinese elm. This is the tree I got at the Tropical Expressions workshop. I gave it quite a pruning last time, kind of just reducing it to an apex and one branch off to the right hand side. I pruned off all these lower branches because I wanted to grow it as a larger tree. I didn't want it a small miniature elm. It's growing in really, really nicely, so I think in a while it'll need another prune. We had a few minutes of sunshine, but now it's clouded over and it's beginning to rain once again. The next update is my euphorbia. This is my larger leaf crown of thorns, and it's doing really, really well. When I first got it, it was very narrow at the base down here, at the root base, and I find over the years they begin to thicken up and get a bit of taper to them. So this tree, I'm just letting it grow. I want to have like, a trunk height, and then I'll prune the top of it and I'll start my branching. So I think it's still a little early to do that. Because this is a large leaf tree, I'll have to grow it just a little bit taller before I prune it off to get the height of my first branching. Here's my other crown of thorns, the smaller leafed one, and you can see it's starting to really thicken up at the base here. And that was the same when I first got it. It had inverse taper. It was very narrow at the root base, and then it tapered up. Now it's the opposite. It's thicker at the base and tapering up. A little more tree-like, and you can see that it's all coming into flower now. So in the summer, the whole top of the tree is covered with these flowers, and these flowers last all the way into the winter. Speaking of flowers, my dwarf pomegranate is in flower. So here's a look at the flowers. They're quite fancy. So this tree has a lot of development to go on it. It's only the start, year 2 for the tree. So I'll just be letting it grow, and then once the leaves fall off for the winter, I'll prune it back and just keep repeating the process. Speaking of flowers, here is my azalea that I got from David, and there's a beautiful flower on it. I'm going to have to prune off all the rest of the flower buds soon, get all the energy going into developing branches and thickening it up. Yeah, so this might be the last flower that I can enjoy off this azalea until next year. The next update for today is my Ficus religiosa. This tree, even though it's small, is over 30 years old. I just keep pruning it back, so here's a shoot that's grown up over the winter. So soon, when it gains a bit more vigor, I'll prune it back to maybe here, and then it'll shoot out new branches from the cut point. You can see that's what happened here. I took a branch off here, and it developed some new shoots. So it's a nice little tree. It's starting to get some really nice texture on the trunk. I'll show you a close-up of that. There's a look at the trunk up close. Yeah, it looks really, really mature, and it's only 3, maybe 4 fingers high. A very small tree. I've got the tree planted in a pot, within a pot, and this is just sort of a buffer zone, the second pot. So the roots from this tree grow through the drainage holes in pot number 1, and they grow into pot number 2. So you have less chance of the top pot drying out if you have a second pot underneath. It's similar to what I do with my little mini succulents. I have that tray of sand that they grow in, and the roots also go out of the drainage holes and into the wet sand. Here's a look at my mini bonsai, and it's the same idea. They're sitting on a tray of wet sand, so the roots from the pots go through the drainage holes and into the sand, and it keeps them healthy and happy on really hot, sunny days. I was hoping to get a tree pruned up today also, but I ran out of time. The dragon pot took most of the day. So the dragon pot will be going over to Isabella's, so I won't see it until fall, when it's hopefully survives the firing. So that is all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.